The galactic convergence had been planning Earth's integration for 3 centuries. Every calculation, every projection, every cultural analysis pointed to the same inevitable conclusion. Humanity would fall into line like every other species before them. Commander Zethkar of the Hegemony's integration fleet studied the holographic displays floating before his crystalline form. Earth hung in the center, a blue marble wrapped in wisps of white cloud. Around it, the deployment patterns showed themselves. 7,000 vessels positioned at precise coordinates, each one a testament to the convergence's methodical approach to galactic unity. The humans have been isolated long enough, Zethkar announced to his bridge crew. Begin Phase 1 of the integration protocol. The first broadcast began simultaneously across Earth's communication networks. In every language, through every medium, the message was the same. Welcome to the galactic convergence. Your species has been selected for integration into our peaceful coalition of worlds. Prepare for cultural assimilation and resource allocation. Resistance is inefficient. Dr. Sarah Chen watched the alien transmission from her laboratory at CERN, her coffee growing cold as the implications sank in. Around the world, similar scenes played out, scientists, leaders, and ordinary people staring at screens that had suddenly filled with the image of beings that looked like living crystal formations. They want us to join their, what did they call it? Convergence? Her colleague Marcus whispered. Sarah's fingers flew across her keyboard, pulling up astronomical data from the past week. Look at this. 7,000 ships. They've been positioning themselves around our solar system for days and we never saw them coming. The integration protocol was elegant in its simplicity. The convergence would provide technology, medicine, and protection. In return, each species would contribute their unique strengths to the collective. Their art would be cataloged, their knowledge archived, their people distributed across suitable worlds to serve the greater good. It had worked flawlessly on 12,947 worlds across the galaxy. But the convergence had made one critical miscalculation about humanity. 3 days into the integration protocol, as convergence shuttles began their descent to major population centers, something unexpected happened in the Kuiper Belt. A human deep space mining station called Defiant Prospect had been monitoring the alien fleet's communications. Chief Engineer Jake Morrison had spent 15 years in the outer system, maintaining the automated mining rigs that fed Earth's growing appetite for rare metals. He was a man who fixed things with his hands, who understood that sometimes you had to break something to make it work better. You seeing this traffic, Emma? He asked his communications officer, pointing to the cascading streams of data flowing between the alien vessels. Emma Rodriguez nodded grimly. It's like they're running the most sophisticated network I've ever seen. Every ship connected to every other ship, all feeding information back to that massive command vessel. Jake studied the patterns for hours, his engineer's mind working through the problem. Then he saw it, the vulnerability that the convergence's own efficiency had created. Their entire fleet operated as one organism, connected by quantum entanglement communication arrays that allowed instantaneous coordination across impossible distances. Emma, Jake said slowly, what happens to a network when you cut the main trunk line? On Earth, the integration was proceeding according to plan. Human leaders were being transported to convergence vessels for cultural briefings. Citizens were being cataloged and assigned integration numbers. The resistance movements that had sprung up were being systematically neutralized by technology, so advanced it seemed like magic. Commander Zethkar felt the familiar satisfaction of another successful integration. The humans were proving slightly more creative in their resistance than most species, but creativity without power was merely entertainment. Then, the quantum entanglement array exploded. The blast wasn't large, barely enough to destroy a single human mining station and the modified fusion reactor that Jake Morrison had, convinced to overload in just the right way. But the quantum resonance cascade that followed ripped through every entangled communication system in the convergence fleet. 7,000 ships, operating as a single coordinated organism, suddenly found themselves deaf and blind. Captain Sarah Chen, hastily, promoted from scientist to military leader as Earth's governments collapsed, watched the alien fleet's formations dissolve into chaos from the bridge of humanity's first commandeered convergence vessel. They built their entire strategy around perfect coordination, She reported to the scattered human resistance cells worldwide. Take that away, and they're just 7,000 individual ships that have forgotten how to think independently. The war that followed lasted 6 months. Without their network, convergence vessels crashed into each other, fired on their own allies, and made tactical blunders that would have been impossible under normal circumstances. Their technology was still superior, but technology meant nothing when wielded by minds that had forgotten how to adapt, improvise, and overcome. Humanity fought with salvaged alien weapons, captured ships, and most importantly, with something the Convergence had engineered out of their member species centuries ago: the stubborn, chaotic, unpredictable refusal to be told what to do. The final battle took place in Earth's orbit, where Commander Zethkar's command ship faced off against a jury-rigged fleet of human vessels, held together with determination and spite. As his ship's hull breached and his crystalline form began to fracture in the vacuum, Zethkar's last thought was of the impossibility of what had happened. No species had ever severed the line. No species had ever chosen chaos over order, uncertainty over security, freedom over efficiency. No species except humanity. The Galactic Convergence's plans for Earth died with their communication network, scattered across the Kuiper Belt in quantum fragments too small to ever reassemble. The surviving alien vessels either surrendered or fled, carrying with them a warning that would spread across the galaxy. There was a species in the third spiral arm that would choose to break the entire game rather than lose it. A species that turned their greatest weakness, their inability to unite perfectly, into their greatest strength. The galaxy had planned for everything except the possibility that someone might refuse to be planned for. Earth remained free, chaotic, and determinedly human.